This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. I have a question for you. What would your life be like if you never had to react to life? If you never had to make anyone wrong? If you never had to be in a state of judging another person? Well, if you really want to step into free will and being the cause of your life, you want to listen to this podcast. Welcome to Dr. Erin Podcast. We come together to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We know that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world, and together we're awakening the world. Okay, so we're on a series, you guys. Guess what? It's the last universal law of neutrality, 52 of 52 series. And why do we care so much about universal law? Because this is the dynamics, the construct of how we manifest in life, how we are generating instantaneously with a consideration in consciousness. You are an almighty spiritual being here to create. You are a creator. You are the creator. We are all one in our divinity. And in this, I know the truth that whatever your heart desires is your destiny. So let's break on down this law, universal law of neutrality. And the laws are not in one order of one's better or another. It's just the way they rolled out as channeled from divine, channeled from a higher self. And so, yes, pulling in other people's work as well, the construct. And that's what I really do. You know, as a doctor of divinity, I love to we bring new teachings to the world. That's what really defines a doctor of divinity. We heal through revealing the truth, but we also move our industry forward. So we build upon the shoulders of the great minds, and we also bring and put it into order or bring something new in new elemental mathematical equations of this incredible thing called life. Okay, so universal law of neutrality, 52 of 52. This is what I know for sure. When I look back on my life and I look back in my 20s, I was constantly judging. I was judging myself. I had no self-worth. I would go through life from everything from the moment I woke up, I'd have inner chatter of making myself, something's wrong with me, I'm not enough. I'd look in the mirror, I'd find what I didn't like. I would go out into the world and I would, wish things were differently. I would judge the people in my life. I would judge the weather. I would judge, whether I was eating well enough, not that day. I would judge, my friends, my family, everything. It was a constant battle to try and think about gratitude. It was like I was constantly in a battle. And in the Bible, of course, the most famous, story in the Bible is the Garden of Eden. And the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were in this beautiful, garden. And what happened was they basically began to judge. If they wanted to have something beautiful like a fruit, they also instantaneously judged it as the opposite. The point is that the moment that we conceive something as good or bad is judgment. Even if you perceive something as good, it is equal to judging it as negative. And so as Adam and Eve were cast out of the Garden of Eden into their human beingness, using the power of their mind in this relative world of judgment, they now became the effect instantaneously to their own thinking, their own thoughts, because that's what you're only the effect of, right? And so I asked myself, what is the opposite of judgment? How would Adam and Eve come back to heaven? I always wondered that. They were told us how they got cast out of the Garden of Eden, but we never really got taught, other than through parables, of course, but they never answered it so succinct, right? Which is one of the beautiful things and the frustrating things about the Bible, is you've got to read into these stories. Just like for you, you can be told this, but you may not hear it until you actually experience your life and apply the universal law of neutrality. So what's the opposite of judgment? The opposite of judgment is neutrality. So this law really teaches us the secret of experiencing free will, our true free will. The moment we end judgment, we free ourselves from feeling like the effect of polarity. We are emancipated from ourselves, from our conflict, from upsets, from viewpoints, we're able to authentically be the cause of our lives. Spirit, you, creates from nothing. It is the first cause. You are the first cause. Align with this law and set yourself free. Be here now. And so as we know, the great books by Ram Dass, Be Here Now, and Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Imagine, have you had those moments? I remember the first time I read The Power of Now, my entire world changed as I knew it. I began to practice the power of now, and I actually would experience out-of-body experiences. I literally would become the witness and observer of my life, and everything changed. Everything changed also. I remember 25 years ago beginning to meditate and reading the 7 laws of spiritual success. And I remember reading about how when you're in meditation, if your thoughts, your mind chatter, that monkey mind, but what you're here to do is to witness those thoughts, to witness them as they go by instead of clinging onto the thoughts and going into those thoughts, just witnessing, observing the thoughts. Deepak Chopra was a master of teaching that. He's a master of teaching that now. He's teaching that gap, that part that we're witnessing in the non-judgment. And so this really is what this law is stating. This law is the law of neutrality. It really teaches us the secret of really experiencing in that gap, in that witnessing, in that observing, being able to have a choice. Spirit creates from nothing. So imagine that no matter what's going on in the world, that you observe it and not react to it like a ping pong ball, but rather take a deep breath and ask yourself, who do you want to be? What do you want to take a stand for? And this is the beautiful aspect of neutrality. In this, you are set free. In this, you have free will. In this, you are almighty and all-powerful. You get to step into the godness of yourself and choose a new thought. And that's why we call it the New Thought Movement. You get to choose a new thought because your thought creates your life. Your thoughts create your life. And so I know that you may be experiencing a tug of war in your life. We all do at some points in our human beingness. That the moment you put a positive or negative meaning on something, that's judgment. Anything that you put a meaning on something that's negative or positive, that you consider it to be negative or positive, you are literally judging. No matter what happened, if something good happened, if something didn't happen, if something didn't occur, you instantaneously experience a positive or negative feeling. Your soul desires for you to practice staying neutral at some level, and you can also be totally human. It's okay as well. Your perceptions are what creates your heaven or hell. When you can do this, you will experience freedom of choice. The universe is guiding us all to experience non-reaction and staying in equanimity. And so today you have a choice. You can cast yourself out of the Garden of Eden, out of heaven, into the hell of earth, which is fine. It's okay to be human. If you're human, we're going to judge. We're human. But you also have the choice of staying in neutrality and witnessing and observing and staying in that God space, witnessing your life. And so as you go in today, we teach daily spiritual practice. I remember back in the day thinking a daily spiritual practice was, that 10 or 20 minutes in the morning, the 10 or 20 minutes in the evening. And I recognize that my whole life is my daily spiritual practice. And as I go into meditation, I'm able to build the muscle of being able to not entangle in my thoughts. I witness my thoughts like clouds going by. I'm able to do that throughout the day, right? So my daily spiritual practice is in every breath of my life, witnessing where I'm judging. And sometimes it's hard because oh my gosh, I'm doing it again, but that's okay. It's a practice and it's a building of a muscle, being able to stay. Imagine if you're able to stay in that place all day, being able to witness your life like you're looking at a movie. And then being able to choose consciously what it is that you want to create in every divine moment. Never making anyone wrong, not making yourself wrong, not judging yourself for judging, right? You spot it, you got it. I recognize the truth and the power that you are. You are this divine, infinite, all-knowing spiritual being, and that you have the power to cast yourself into heaven, into the Garden of Eden, right here, right now, in staying neutral, and no longer judging anyone, allowing the universe and their own karmic to do that for themselves. You're released of that. You're released of ever judging. You get to stick into neutrality and into love, What if you loved everyone, no matter what they did? And in that space, I know all things are possible. So my invitation for you today is to practice non-reaction, staying in equanimity, and staying as the observer that you are, and asking your heart, what is it that you truly desire to be? What do you want to take a stand for? And how do you want to go beyond the relative world of reacting? I know that you are great. I know that you are God. I know that you are glorious in your grace. I know that all things are possible in this state of neutrality, in the state of actually practicing freedom of choice and free will. I know the truth right here, right now, that aligning with the universal law is our path to freedom, that this is how we manifest. So we might as well align to the truth of who we are, which is infinite divine spiritual beings. And together we rise. I simply know this in my heart. As together we say, and so it is. And so I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. If you've gone through this series with me, I am so grateful. This series has been such a development for me. I'm so honored to bring this work to the world, knowing that I stand on the shoulders of so many that have taught some of the laws, and I stand on the shoulders of the gracious divine minds of the New Thought world, and anybody that truly understands truth, no matter if you are a scientist or religious or whatever. I recognize there's truth in all of it. And as we come together, as we teach truth, the truth of who we are the Christ, we are the force, we are the source, we are that within us. And as we understand how we work, how we manifest through the dynamics and principles of the physics of this life, anything and everything's possible. And so I know this goes out to the perfect people. May you understand yourself. May you understand how you are manifesting, how you have created your suffering and your freedom right now and right here. And so I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the technology that allows us to get this out. Thank you for everyone involved. Thank you for the beautiful artists that help create the universal laws. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful. And in this, I just say, let it be. Let it be. Have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciety and Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciety.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under drerin.tv, which is drein.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciety. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciety. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day, and may you live your truth.